Are you struggling to maintain a hilly property and the grass is overgrowing due to having the wrong equipment? Then come along with me and I'll demonstrate all the equipment I use to get the job done quick and safe. Let's go. Hey guys, Musa here from Quantum Home Improvements and Solutions. Welcome back. And if this is your first time to our channel, it's great having you join us. And so today I'm going to demonstrate all the machinery I use on this very hilly property. Now we've owned this property for a fair few years now, and when we first moved in I had a Cox mower, and that thing was a death machine on these hills. I rolled it twice, and so eventually I acquired a RazorBack mower, and this thing is just brilliant. It's four-wheel drive, low center gravity, and it can go to about 30 degrees on a hill safely. And so then after that I acquired a TYM tractor. Now this is a compact tractor, and so I do have a spinal injury, and this thing is a godsend. It has a 4-in-1 bucket and it helps me pick up nearly everything. And then I acquired a Daken slasher. It's a 1200 wide, so it's a 4-foot, which is a implement that fits to the back, and that helps me mow this property very, very quickly. Now it can't go on hills, but it can do slight hills. So I'll do the lower areas, but then the very hilly side down that side will be done with the RazorBack. And so then I also needed a self-propelled mower around the house because I don't walk very well. And so I got myself a Baumr. Now, I've done a review on that product and these two, and I found it probably wasn't the best product. It's okay. I needed something that was a self-starter, so an electric starter, and that's what it is. And you'll see that demonstrated. Now with all these products, I will put a link in the descriptions below if you want to see them individually and comprehensively how good they are. And so in the Baumr video, I also demonstrated the Bush Ranger Whippersnipper brush cutter, and it's a 2-in-1. Now it is a good product, but it's in the bottom of their range, and so it's a hedger and a brush cutter. But in actual fact, I'm going to use today an aftermarket brush cutter, which I got probably about 13, 14 years ago. It's a much more powerful motor. And so the difference between the two brush cutters is that the Bush Ranger has a line feeder, which I prefer. But the aftermarket one, every time it wears down, I'm going to have to change that line, which is annoying, but it's a better machine. So the last thing I want to mention is a Makita Blower, which is fantastic. And so around 10 weeks ago, I had a carpal tunnel operation on my hands, and I wasn't allowed to do anything. So the grass on this property has overgrown. I will put some gloves on to do this, and it shouldn't take long to fix it. And I'm dedicating this video to little Raffy, who loves the lawnmower tractor videos. And just here where the equipment is sitting, we're going to build a tiny home, which is really exciting. And so we got the power in, we've got some materials being ordered, and we're going to start soon. And now this will be over a 12-month period, and we'll release the videos as series, hopefully starting early next year. So look out for that. Okay, so now I'll get into it and show you how we maintain our property. Okay, we're ready to go. I've got my safety equipment on. Just put this on, prime it, put on choke. And so now I'm just going to let it go to fast play. So enjoy the music, which my son played. done. This area wasn't so bad because Chicken Nugget mowed it for me recently where we fixed his Victor mowers, and I'll put a link for that video in the descriptions below. Okay, I've had a pretty big break and I'm feeling good. The brush cutting, whippersnipping actually takes a lot out of me, so I needed to have a rest. Anyway, so now I'm going to get into it and use the TYM tractor and also the Daken slasher and mow most of this property. And I have actually put the phone away, so it's not on the tractor. Okay, I'm done for today. Finished the slashing, so tomorrow I'm going to do the rest with the RazorBack. Okay, it's a beautiful new day, but apparently it's going to be a hot one, so I'm going to get into it. And so they're also predicting rain. All right, so now I'm going to do my most favorite mowing, which is on this RazorBack. And as I said before, it has a low center of gravity, which allows you to go on steep hills. And I usually go on about 30-degree maximum, and it's still fairly safe. I do have to change the center of gravity when I'm doing that. I have a roll cage here. I had this installed, and the seat has a suspension in it. So it's a really great machine, and it also has a seat belt. Now, I didn't say earlier, but with the tractor, you've got to be very careful. It can go on slight hills, but you've got to be careful because it can roll. It's very dangerous. So the easement is around about 10 degree, some parts about 15, which is pretty max, and you have to change your center of gravity on that for sure because it has a high center of gravity, and you have to keep your bucket low. So please be careful if you're using a tractor on a hill. Okay, now I'll get into it. I'll just mow this little area here, and then I'll go to the other side. all done. This machine's incredible. It's quick, it's easy to use, and not only does it mow the grass, but it also mulches foliage, timber, and they can easily do 50 mil, which is 2 inches, but in the video that I made reviewing this RazorBack, I actually did 65 mil, and it mulched it down to nothing. So I'll put a link for that in the descriptions below once again. So after a bit of rest, I'm going to get into it and mow around the house using the self-propelled brawn mower, and I will catch that grass, and then I'll give that grass to the chickens. Okay, I've had a break. Now it's time to do the last bit of mowing. So I'm going to use the brawn mower, as I said before. And so it's not a bad machine, but you'll see if you watch the video in the descriptions below, I'll put a link there, you'll see that there are a few issues. So just some of them I'll point out is that the catcher, it's long, it's narrow, and it doesn't actually catch the grass very well. So it actually just only catches about half of it. Now this is a self-starter, so it's an electric starter. It only starts once. For whatever reason, you can charge the battery as many times as you want, but once you start it, it won't start again. You've got to use the pull cord. Now the reason I bought this mower is because I have a problem with my back and it's hard for me to pull, but I do have to do that sometimes, which is very painful. And another thing is that there's a few bolts on here that's broken, so I've had to put new screws, which is not a good thing. But one thing I've got to say is that the motor is really good. It's actually a really good motor. It starts quickly. The self-propel is very slow. For me, that's okay, but you may not like that. Anyway, the sun's coming in and out. The clouds are coming, so I'm going to have to get into it. I'll put that on. Okay, it's finished. All I've got to do now is go around with the Makita Blower and clean everything up. Wow, this turned out incredible. It looks amazing. So just the hill here that was so easy to mow with the RazorBack mower. Across the other side with the TYM tractor, the easement looks fantastic. Around the swings, everything's looking great. And it just goes to show you need to have the right equipment. Even with a spinal injury, I'm still able to do this kind of work. It took me 2 days, but I did it. So one thing I've got to say is thank God that we have wallabies come in here and they keep the kikuyu down. So we've got kikuyu around this area, and around in the easement there's a lot of African lovegrass, and there's a whole heap of different type of grasses on this property. So I had to take prednisone for 2 days, but it's all worth it. So I hope little Raffy enjoyed this video, and I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say. So once again, I'll put a link in the descriptions below of all the videos I made reviewing all those products you saw in this video. So just in time, the clouds are coming in and it looks like it's going to rain soon. The sun is still trying to poke through, but it looks like it's going to rain very shortly. So that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. And if you have any comments at all, please leave them below and I will get back to you. And I'd ask you, please consider to subscribe, hit the like button and share this video, and there's many more to come. Thanks guys.